Hi, I'm Jessica, and this is my game. It's called Trivia Challenge for Children, and it's pretty much just a basic board game designed to get children around the ages 4, 5, or 6, or somewhere in the early childhood age group, to get them to think and remember things. So, I'll show you how it's played. So before I start, I just want to say that it's okay for them to have parents to help them if they can't read certain things, or just if they need help understanding something, then that's okay. But it's more challenging if they do it by themselves. So, alright, so they'd have to start over here, and I would say about 2 to 4 players should play this game at a time. So first off, they would start by spinning the dial over here. Alright, so first person would move 4 spaces, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and pretty much whatever they land on is the action they'd have to do. So this player landed on this one, and it says name the state you're in. So the child would have to name the state they're in order to stay on their spot, and then move on in their next turn. But if they can't name the state they're in, then they'd have to go all the way back from where they started. Okay, and then that would be their turn, so they get no do-overs or anything. Alright, and then the next person would go, and they got a 3, so they'd move 3 spots, and this one says stand on one leg until next turn, so it also gets them up and moving, kind of. Alright, and then if they can't do it come their next turn, then they'd have to go back. Alright, so then pretty much how you progress is you just, so say he successfully stood on one leg until next turn, then he could just spin again. Oh, and he got a 0. So if you get a 0, then that counts as your turn, and you'd have to wait for your next turn to spin again. So he'll just spin again really quick. Oh, okay, say he got a 4. Then he'd get to move 4 spaces, and he landed on a free spot, so that's a free spot. He doesn't have to do anything. But say if he landed on the next one, name the color and the shape of the spot you're on. So he'd have to say he's on a green circle in order for him to stay there. So then he'd have to wait till his next turn to move on. And then they just follow the arrows until they get to the end. So some things on there are counting, so they'd have to count to 10, or they'd have to count in 2s up to 10, or count by 10s up to 100, and it just gets harder as the game goes on, so that's count down from 10, or count the number of people in the room. So there's the yellow triangles. Then there are things like sing the alphabet, or close one eye until the next turn, go back 2 spaces, and then there's even little things where you'd have to start over if you landed on that spot. Alright, and then there's another one, you just, oh yeah, stand on one leg, it's a free spot, hop up and down 5 times, so if they touch their hands or if they fall on their knees, then that doesn't count. Name the colors of the rainbow. Name the people playing this game, so name remembrance. Spell your name. Count by 10s up to 100, and then the end. So it just helps them remember things like spelling their name or the colors of the rainbow, and it helps get them active and helps them remember how to count and things like that. So there's my game.